Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at Werewolf, Their Wolf. It was written by Kyle Sullivan and the art is by Meg Hunt. So Meg Hunt is an illustrator. She's done a few books and typically tries to reimagine fairy tales as like modern space age tech stuff. She's done Interstellar, Cinderella, Reading Beauty, and Joe Bright and the Seven Bots, which are all like, I guess fairy tales set in space. I'm not keen on those, but this one I saw the artwork for on her Instagram and I had to have a copy. I love this book. I would describe this book as really bold. The colour palette works really well, and the characterization is very stylistic. A lot of really good shapes going on in this book, and it's simple but there's nice textures as well. I feel like you can tell this was done digitally, which normally I wouldn't like, but in this case I think it works. So this really cute design of Red Riding Hood, and she is like busy on her mobile phone. I wonder if that would date things in the future, but I suppose it doesn't really matter because a lot of Grimm's fairy tales are dated. So the premise of this book is there's a lot of different wolves, and a wolf comes up and talks to Red and kind of threatens her, and she says like there's another wolf that's gonna come, and then he's like, what is it, this wolf, is it this wolf? And then they go through like a journey of loads of different types of wolves together. And then I'm going to spoil the ending for you, but actually we'll wait to the end and we'll get to that. I really just love this design of the wolf. She decided to do it a little bit anthropomorphic, so it's got fingers, it stands on its hind legs. I really love the shape of the eyes and this whole muzzle and the nose. It's really bold, a really bold choice. I like this one in the background. Like, see how the shapes don't really make sense in terms of the anatomy of an animal, a wolf, a dog, but it works. I think this is a thing that is really important in illustration, is to, whatever style that you're working in, whether or not it makes sense from a anatomy point of view, if you're confident with your choices, you get a pass. And I think it's sometimes not being confident and having not on point anatomy that trips people up sometimes and makes you look a little bit more amateur. But Meg Hunt is a character designer, so she's really well versed in like shapes and using those to advantage to create compelling characters. Love this image here. I really do like the wolf's eyes and noses in this book. Red Riding Hood looks very like squishy, and there's just something comforting about like her shape and her shoes. Like, I really love how she looks. It's very rounded. So this is where she's having a conversation with the wolf, talking about, in these woods, said Red with a confident air, a big scary werewolf is lurking somewhere. This is also a book that is in rhyme, so that's really interesting and fun, because people say it's really hard to do rhyme that works in children's books. I really do like the rhyme in this book though. but I know all the wolves from far and near, so which is the werewolf that this wolf should fear? So then he starts going through all the different types of wolves, which is a really fun concept of a book. If you take like one thing and do loads of different versions of it, whether it be like whatever, a mermaid or like an animal like a wolf, it's cool to take one concept and do variations. This square wolf looks digital. It's just fun. Hairy bear wolf, which is I guess a cross between a wolf and a bear, and it likes honey. Wolf with fairly long hair. This is a glamorous, luxurious wolf that I feel would work well as like a toy that you could brush its hair. Again, I just really love how she draws these shoes. She's got a really interesting mix of having a line on some of the images and then just having solid colour around the edges. Like, she's not got lines around every part of her illustration, which is something that I want to incorporate. I get scared of drawing without lines, and I want to do a little bit more. Funnily enough, I don't get scared when I'm drawing in traditional, but when it's digital, I feel like there has to be a line there. It's like a safety blanket for me. The barely there wolf that floats in midair looks kind of like a water creature. Gothic glare wolf is quite cool. I love his hair. Merry Care wolf looks like a Care Bear. So every time he mentions a wolf, she keeps saying no, 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 it's not that. And the wolf is getting more confused and frustrated. See, like, these colours are really nice. So it's like a hint of like, she's got like greys, but she's got like green in there. And just look at the beginning. Yeah, there's like a slight tinge of green to it. And black and red, obviously. But the colour palette just works so well. This wolf really stands out in this image. One, because of his size, but because it's like light. Compared to the darker background, it really stands out. Another thing I have to work on, because your eye goes directly to the wolf. Getting the values right is quite tricky sometimes. So when the wolf is starting to realize that she's made this concept up of like a scary wolf that he needs to be scared of, he calls her out and thinks that she's lying. A really nice panel here. And the twist is, she is the wolf that she was talking about the whole time. She turns into a werewolf, which I will admit has been done before. I mean, these fairy tales are so old and they've been done so many times, it's hard to reinvent them and make them interesting. But I really do think this take is quite interesting, because you have like, it's kind of like the Gruffalo with the mouse. The mouse is trying to conjure up this creature and use it to scare the other animal. Was it a fox or something? Comment below if you remember the story. But it's like the idea of like trying to ward off your prey by telling them there's something bigger and scarier. But then the twist is, she is the something big and scary. So again, another beautiful design for a werewolf, for a wolf in general. We've got grandma there going on a hike. And she comes with snacks to feed them both. So I guess it's a nice message that she doesn't attack her predator and she becomes friends with it. This is a really nice image. I just like... I like the shape of the eyes. These eyes are different to those. And I like the muzzle. This kind of looks like a pencil, but it works. I really like the tail shape as well. It's nice. Some really, really lovely textures. Meg has said on her website that she does like to experiment with making her own Procreate brushes, so she's putting them to good use because there's, yeah. These lines are really nice. And there you have it. These really subtle end papers that have like lots of wolves. I don't know how well you can see them. It's very subtle. Thank you for joining me. I hope you like this book, and I hope I could introduce you to Meg. And I will see you in the next video.